few nice pieces down there.
That's a good piece.
Well, hello and welcome, folks. I'm Prospector Jerry. That's Prospector Inga over there. We're on another adventure today. It is the end of summer, basically. This is the middle, well, coming towards the end of September. We're gonna go find some gold today. We've been working a specific area, one crack basically, almost all summer, and it's just continued to pay off. And we're almost down to the end of it, and I had to make some special tools to get to the gold, basically. It's just a weird little section of this crack, and we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, end of summer, up here at the Gold Shack. This is our off-grid mining shack, right above the dig-ins. River's down there. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'd suggest hitting that subscribe button if you like this type of content. Maybe drop a like or comment. Love to hear from you. Let me know what you want to see. If you have any questions about what we're doing or how we're doing things, I'd love to hear all of your comments, so please speak up. We've been doing nothing but chores up here this trip. This place is completely seasonal, so every season you got to do something. Right now we're getting towards the end of summer. We had to do our wood. So we replenished all of our wood. This is all oak. We cut all this yesterday. Bunch of rounds in there. This is going to season over the winter until next year. And before that, we already had a pile there. And we split all that. Or I should say I split it. And yeah, we restocked all of our wood. This is all our dry, ready to go wood for this winter. Got a little cast iron stove in there that we use to keep warm. This place is really small, so it doesn't take much wood. So this should get us through the winter. All of our cooking. Got a bunch of oak, madrone. There's some almond up underneath there for cooking. Got some of this wood too. I thought it was oak when we split it, but it's something, it's not cedar, but it has a bark kind of similar to oak. And with the moss on it, it reminded me of oak when we cut it, but then when I was splitting it, I noticed that that's not oak. I'm wondering if it's ash. It might be ash or something like that, or something that I'm just not used to this wood. So if you have any idea, any comments, this is kind of what the bark looks like, let me know. Seems like a good wood to burn. And let's go look at this gear here. This is what I was talking about. This is what we're bringing to the river today. Everything here. I left it all out so that I could show you guys basically what we bring to the river, or what we have been bringing on these trips when we snipe. I'm going to be using the wetsuit this trip. This is something I haven't used all summer because the water's been really warm, but last time we were out it was getting cold and it's time for the wetsuit. So I got just a 3 mil, nothing super thick, water shoes, waterproof backpack. This is an inflatable tube that I bring down there to get her across the river. Just helps us out with that. This is a little electric pump. If you've seen my past videos, you've seen me rave about this little pump. Use that to fill the tube. Little rechargeable guy, it works great. Our camera, our extra batteries. Crevicing tools. These work great for this crack. Get down in there. This I haven't had with me, but I think I'll need it because this is good for prying some of that cobble out of there. It's nice and thin, but it won't really bend. So hopefully that helps. This is something new that I bought for this trip because, like I said, we got to get this cobble out of this crack and it's way down in there. So this hammer only goes so far down in the crack. I've already gotten about that much, about 3 or 4 inches of cobble out with this guy, but there's still more down in there and I can't get it out. So I bought these and I think this will go down in there, and I got this one's even thinner. If not, bust some of that cobble out of there. Little 3-pound sledge. And this guy. Now this, I built specifically for this trip. I have another video where I have an electric version of this, basically a little Ryobi water pump that I built. And it works great. The problem is it only works for a few minutes because it has some internal damage or something where it's leaking. It leaks internally and then the battery gets wet and stops working. So I don't think you could buy that Ryobi anymore. I don't think they make it. So I'm kind of SOL on that one. But I used to have one of these. I made one a long time ago and I don't know what happened to it. But this works great. The reason why I made this and didn't buy something or make something out of PVC is this is super cheap. The squirt gun, I think it's like $13 to $15 or so on Amazon. I needed it in a hurry also. I didn't need the options of ordering this and waiting for it. I kind of thought of this last minute, so this overnight, and then I went to the hardware store, me and Inga, and we sourced this stuff out. There's a few different ways you could do it. I mean, this is what I seen there that made the most sense. You could probably find some other reducers and do it differently. But basically, this guy right here fits right over the cap, and this cap is threaded. Let's see if I could do this with holding all this stuff. So if you need to clean this out, this comes off with the squirt gun itself. And you could clean it out if stuff gets stuck in there. Then you could also unscrew this in case this gets jammed up. These things, something similar to this, the cheapest one I found on Amazon, I think was like 80 bucks. And I built this for under $30. And we're gonna try it out today. I think it's gonna work great. You literally just jam this down in the hole, suck it out, have a pan down there with a rock in it, and I'll just fill up a pan with the material out of this. Last time I was using one of these, and these work great. Problem is it's so deep in there and this is so small, there's a lot of material, and I was blindly just shoving it in there because it's kind of up and underneath. And this thing works, but you're only going to get so much material out with this. So that's why I went with this guy, because we actually need to clean this crack out. We need to get some of that stuff out. I was kind of working around all the cobble that I couldn't get to with this. So this is Gus. He keeps an eye on the place while we're gone. He's always scaring critters off, running the bear out of here, mountain lions, things like that. It's pretty funny to watch him on the cameras. Gus, you got any words for us today?
Old Gus doesn't know about cooking or how to eat in a fancy restaurant, but he sure as heck isn't dumb.
Gus ain't dumb.
No, pigeons.
We're gonna get packed up, put all these goodies in the backpack, head down to the water, see if we can show you guys some good gold. Down in that rapidy area is where we're going to be working today. So let me suit up, get all my gear, and get underwater. I had originally built this tool to help suck up material, but the gravel was a little too large for the size of the nozzle. So I instead used it to force a high-pressure jet of water into the crack, blowing all the material to one end, where I could then suck up the gold with the snuffer bottle. This worked exceptionally well. Every now and then, I'd have to use the crevicing tool to remove some of the stubborn cobble that would get wedged in the crack. At times, I could literally see the gold piling up from each pump of the squirt gun.
Few nice pieces down there. They gotta come out.
a good piece. Ooh.
I know I got some gold. Been picking some bigger chunks out that you've seen already. About to do our first snuffer dump. Hard to say what I got in there. I know I've snuffered up some gold, but I don't know how much exactly. So I'm going to poke around with the chisels a little bit here in a minute and see if I can just chisel out maybe the corner, if I can break a little chunk up, leave most of this crack. I don't know. We're going to see here. Well, let's do a snuffer dump. Got our 3 big pieces already. This guy was so hard to get out of there, he was fighting.
Oh! Wow.
Piece of stuff in there so far. I feel like the back of it's got all that gold in it. It's lunchtime. We're getting gold, but it's getting less and less. I beat the heck out of that crack. It's not going to break off. There's no way it's going to break off. At least I don't have what it takes to break it. And then I took the chisel, both long chisels, went into that corner where I've been beating all the gold and just got in there as best I could, all directions with the chisel and breaking up whatever. I can't see really down there. I'm doing it all by feel. This flow right there is kicking my butt. Same old story, where we got gold. These are all pieces that I literally would see come out because I was using the pump and it was blowing gold out of the crack, and then the hydrodynamics of this crack and the flow were just sucking it right back in. So I was seeing it come out and it'd stay there for like 2 seconds and then get sucked back in. So these are the pieces, when that would happen, that I could grab them, literally put my finger down on them, and pick them up. There's a few that got away, and hopefully I got them in my snuffer. So that's those guys. So let's see. I'm going to dump these in here because I want to see what I got without. I want to see what's in the snuffer, just the snuffer. Let's see if I got anything. Doesn't look like a whole lot from here, but. A little bit. It's getting sparser. Crazy. Let's dump this in here and see how he did for the first half of the day. bad. Bigger stuff. This is exactly what I said though. Remember I said the bigger stuff's probably down in there still. And man, I have a feeling the bottom of that crack, it's just kind of loaded. Once it seemed like all the material had been processed at one end, I would turn around and blow everything up to the other end of the crevice. Sometimes it would expose new gold. Every now and then, I'd turn around and check my tailings, the material that blew away with the flow of the river. I could find some gold in this, surprisingly, and the material would stick here on the bedrock and not move around too much. Well, I hope that I have enough video to actually make a video. A lot of the videos made here are me just working a really hard area to work. It's almost impossible to film down there. I've tried to bring a camera down. What I really need to do is bring my chest mount messing up, because that would help. Because no matter what I do, stack rocks on top of the camera, all kinds of, it eventually moves. I've almost lost the camera like 3 or 4 times, turn my back and it's gone. I catch it going down the river. Basically what I do is I bring a new tool each time and I try something different each time, and I find a little bit more gold with this different tool or different way of getting the material out. That squirt gun's awesome for just blowing the material out of there, and that's all I was doing today, was using it, pushing as hard as I could, watching the gold come out of the crack. Sometimes it gets sucked right back in, but sometimes it'd stay there just long enough where I could grab it with my hands or use the snuffer bottle to actually fill or to grab it. Even grabbed a piece with the tweezers. If you kick some gold out, it ends up at the edge of this gravel pile right here or in this one. So I always go back over and check that gravel pile and check this one. And I found most of the gold I'm going to show you in this little pile right here. It was just a few decent pieces. This is the gold from just after lunch. A few decent pieces in there. That was all just going over my tailings. This place is such a hard place to snipe. You finally fan the material out of the crack and the current just takes it. So we'll go ahead and add that to our end of the day gold. We'll take a look at how we did. All right, here's our end of the day gold. Not too shabby at all. These are some nice pieces. This surfboard piece, this is the one I got out with the tweezers. I think I bent it because I had to pry on it to get it out of there. Got some mercury on it, that's why it's dull. These are some chunky pieces. I'd say this is probably close to over 1/4 gram, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2. Maybe even closer to 1/2 gram actually. This guy right here is probably 1/4 grammer at least. This guy right here. Another 1/4 grammer. So I'm gonna say this is probably somewhere in the realms of a pennyweight to 2 grams worth of gold right here. Not too bad. Definitely beat the skunk. I'll take it. All that with the help of the squirt gun. So the squirt gun paid off. Definitely paid off. Build yourself one of these if you got the right spot for it. Definitely helps. What time is it? Time to go back. We're out of here. Had an awesome day. Ready for our trip across the water. We'll put our dry clothes on, head up to the gold shack. Made it back to the shack. Had a easy hike out of there. Wasn't too bad because the temperature's pretty low right now. It's not blazing hot. Mosquitoes are killing us. They've been pretty bad today. They weren't as bad the last couple of days, but it's getting warmer out. It seems like they like the warm weather. Got our tea going. Nice to have some tea when we come back. About to start dinner. Steaks tonight. Or steak. One big steak.
1.5 pound steak.
Ooh, that's a big steak. So yeah, got some good gold. You guys seen it already. You can hear it. Now, I used to weigh up my gold, but just so you know, I'm at this spot, it's hard to weigh up my gold. If I got some clean stuff, I could do that, but almost all the gold I get here is half covered in mercury, sometimes more than that. So I have to treat it. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to treat it each time to make these videos. So I save it till the end of the year. So at some point I'll do a big reveal of all the gold I got for this season. But you could kind of eyeball it and make a good guess, I think. I'm saying somewhere between a pennyweight and 3 grams is probably realistic. So yeah, great day, beat the skunk, found some good gold, found some nice chunky pieces. Appreciate you guys joining us. Stick around for more adventures. Definitely appreciate all the support you guys give us, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Take care, guys. If you're interested in purchasing gold and minerals included in these episodes, please check out my Etsy store with the link listed below. I'd like to say thank you to all my Patreon members. It's because of you that these adventures are possible, and I can't thank you enough for all of the support. If you're considering becoming a Patreon member, check out the link in the description below. Patreon members have many benefits, including group dig events, access to my private gold claim, and locations of some of my favorite spots included in these episodes, so you can experience your own golden adventure. There's also a link in the top right corner of the next screen. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button and drop a comment below. Thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you heavy pans.